Hello and welcome back to Star Trek Voyager Elite Force. My name is Wolverine and we are playing the main story and we are starting the second level. The game is divided up into Voyager levels and fighty levels, so it's a nice way to take some of the stress off playing the game. It's one of its most endearing features if you ask me. Right, so just to give you an update on where we are with the story, we have just failed the Kobayashi Maru. That is a command assessment test where you're put in a position where you cannot win. It was first introduced as a concept in Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, and it came back in the reboot of Star Trek, in which case the only person who has ever beat the test cheated. We didn't. We shot a panel and it exploded and killed everybody, and we were told off. So we failed the test. Spectacularly. So the idea of the test was to test us for a command position. We are a member of the Hazard team, which Tuvok created. For the sake of the game, they changed the title to Elite Force because Hazard team just sounds dull, which you'd expect from Tuvok, so I like it. It's fine. Right, person feedback, I have reduced the game volume. I hope that improves it for you. And I will not dawdle anymore and we'll crack on.
Deck 11, engineering.
I'm having a hard time getting any sensor information on those derelict ships, Captain.
Ah, the turbolift has broken. Hello, people.
Sir, here's the damage control progress for the aft side of the deck.
Good. Who's fixing the data shunt here?
Showers and chests, sir.
Good. And Renner's on the Jeffries tubes.
Good. So, Chell and some other people are also helping with the fix. Right, back to my first experience with this game. I do not actually have a graphics card. I'm running it off motherboard graphics, and it is absolutely crystal clear and as sharp as the original game can be in all its glory. These are the original textures, and when I played it, when I first got it, this panel was such low resolution that I had no idea what it was or even what it was trying to be. What it actually is a map, because there is no in-game map in your menu. So my position, working turbo lifts and the corridors, not very useful. Not really, you'd eventually find where you're going. All of the doors are locked, and if they open you should probably go through them.
Darren, can you give me a hand with this plasma relay?
Oh dear.
EPS conduits are gonna block! Hit that panel and bring up a containment field!
Yes sir.
What are you doing?
What? You said press the button. Oh. Oh dear. Oh. I don't think anyone saw that. We'll just say he died and I had nothing to do with it. Moving on. That's run. Right.
Sorry, Monroe. The data shunt's been severed here. Everything down this way is shut off.
Hello, Chell.
Hey, we're getting a power surge here.
Monroe, quick! Hit that panel and shut off this relay.
Uh-oh.
That was close.
And nobody
Chell,
died this
I
time.
need to get this containment field down.
There's an override in the Jeffries tube just down that corridor.
Cheers. Good, nobody died this time, and you're none the wiser, and I don't know why I'd say that out loud. Carry on. Right, so Monroe just said to Chell, I need to go this way, but I can't. This force field's blocking the way. He's told me to go to the Jeffries tubes. Now we did a Jeffries tube in the tutorial. They're like access, what's the word? Corridors that run through the ship. Just big enough to squeeze through. That was alarming. One imagines that the person they're named after, Mr. Jeffries, was only 2.5 feet tall. Okay, so we'll go up this door, which is just opened / exploded. Let's see if we can find a way around. Oop. This is where I want to go. I can move really fast on my chins. Do the thing. Press the button, assume you've pressed the right button. Crouch. Haha. See if we can use the ladders rather than just fall to our deaths. Hooray! Yes, the fall damage on this game is not very far at all. It's actually quite realistic, but when you're used to playing things like Halo, it can be quite alarming. Oh yeah, I was going this way, wasn't I? You two carry on. I have another job in engineering, I think. Wait, I heard it. There we go. Fun little fact. Star Trek ships are arranged from deck 1 to deck whatever the bottom deck is. And Star Trek V, one of my favourite movies of all time. It's an incredibly fun family film with lots of jokes and gags and very quotable. And there is a scene that always gets picked apart by pedants, which is fair enough, where Spock, Kirk and McCoy are going up an elevator shaft, and the deck numbers are passing them on the way up because they're using rocket boots, and it's going higher and higher, but the number goes higher and higher, and I think it gets up to like number 70 when they reach the top, and it's just the wrong way around. I know it's a bit of a mistake on the filmmaker's part, but it conveys a joke. You know, it's just for fun. Final Frontier. One of my favourite Star Trek films. Controversial, I know.
Warning. Hazardous material detected.
You mean that green stuff down there? I'll take your word for it. Whoop, oh, ow, ow, ow! I fell on the green stuff. Let's remember where the jump button is. Up! Ow! Yeah. Containment failure, chemical removal system activation. Press. There you go. It's a very satisfying noise, don't you think? Oh, I was expecting to get fall damage. Apparently that's the threshold for fall damage. Again, another satisfying sound effect. Guessing not that way. Ah, B'Elanna Torres and random crew member, possibly Tom Paris. No.
Monroe, what took you so long? We've got a warp core breach in progress. You need to get in there and shut it down. There are two things you have to do, so listen carefully. First, cut the power relays on the main floor. Then go to the upper level and decouple the dilithium matrix. Wait a minute. You're going to need a helmet to get through that coolant leak.
I've got one in my transporter buffer.
Hurry up and find those terminals. There isn't much time before we lose containment and have to reject the core.
So that transporter buffer there, when this thing finally cycles round to it, is a nice little plot device that the game developers came up with for storing big bulky things like helmets, weapons, anything else you might happen to come across without having a massive great backpack or one of those magical bottomless pockets that games tend to have. Yes, more
Hurry,
information.
Monroe. I'm not sure how much time you've got left.
Can't do a lot, there's a big force field in
Attention.
the way.
Warp core breach imminent.
That's not alarming.
Access denied. Monroe, I just remembered. You're going to need the access code to cut the power relays. Go to the access code station.
You should have told me that earlier. This seems like a very urgent situation.
Displaying power relay access code.
Got it.
Taurus Gamma 616647. Sigma 091164 enabled. Right, we're all going to die because I have to remember that number.
Access granted. Power
Right, I did.
relays have been cut.
Good job, Monroe.
Attention.
Oh, goodness.
Warp core breach in 30 seconds.
She is not joking, it will blow up. Uh,
20.
oh,
Dilithium matrix decouple. Warp core offline.
hooray!
Core breach averted.
Good job, Ensign. That was touch and go there for a little while.
No problem, Lieutenant.
Okay, let's get a cleanup crew in here. Seal
All
that
right.
leak. We need to get main power back
Alana's going
online.
to chat to the others for a
Vorik,
bit. And
give me a
interrupt
hand
us
with the
while
resonance
I'll
cascade
try to
modulator.
talk over. So the urgency of the situation has subsided and we can calm down for a bit and have a think and move on. As soon as we leave this room, the main story will pick up with something new and interesting for us to do. I want to take this
Tina, watch your
moment.
alignment. That isodyne array has to be modulated to exactly 4.7 microjoules.
Your voice carries
Yes, ma'am.
really far. I want to recommend a new podcast being produced by Robert
Ensign
Duncan
Stats,
McNeil
is the coupling
and
matrix
Garrett
back
Wong,
online
who
yet?
play
Just
Ensign
another couple
Tom
of minutes,
Paris
sir.
and Ensign Harry Kim in Voyager.
How's it look?
I've
Ensign?
enjoyed it so far.
Not good.
They're
The
going
whole
through
index
the
matrix is
original
out of whack.
Voyager series and watching
Engineering to
it
bridge.
episode by
The leak's
episode
contained,
and
but
giving
we've
their
got some heavy
thoughts.
damage here.
Garrett
I don't know how
Wong
soon we'll get
is
warp drive
a
back online.
massive
Or
nerd
if we'll get it
who
back.
knows everything there is to know about Star Trek and also does very amusing impressions of the entire cast. And Robert Duncan McNeil used Voyager to get him into directing, and he directed a few episodes of Voyager and series thereafter, Enterprise, Discovery, and so on. So he gives a bit of critical feedback, and they share all kinds of little interesting knickknacks here and there. For example, when they first walked onto this set, when it was built, this glass floor here, they just assumed it was just for decoration. Nobody had ever actually come here, and in the first episode, Kate Mulgrew was standing here holding this rail. So actually having a glass floor on set back then was a big deal. So little knickknacks like that come up all the time. The Delta Flyers, the podcast is called. Thoroughly recommend. Oh yeah, that doorbell chime happens whenever you go up to one of these doors with the lower resolution textures. It doesn't go anywhere because there's only so much space in the game.
Intruder alert! All security and hazard team personnel to the loading dock.
We have a loading dock? Is it this way? Ah, yes. I think I've done this before.
Deck 8, loading dock.
And the loading dock is on deck 8. I feel like we could have walked there. Were we on deck 7?
Here, Monroe, take it. Come on.
Can I have a big shiny gun like yours?
If you need medical attention, just come back here.
Monroe,
Cheers,
over here.
Doctor. So that is Robert Picardo voicing the EMH, my favourite character of the series. He was initially introduced as just like a necessity. They didn't really have him in mind to be quite the character he turned out to be, and he grew and changed, and it was fascinating to watch. Very good episodes where he's the central character.
We're being invaded by some kind of pirates. They're taking our supplies. We have to stop them. There are 2 of them behind a barricade in there. They're launching energy grenades. See if you can eliminate them. Ready?
No. Going anyway. kill the requisite number of enemies, or you stepped right in front of me when you could see I was shooting. Dog howl again. Die, Klingon Pataku! You garbage man. I still have a round left.
We're pinned down in Cargo Bay 1. We require your immediate assistance.
You have holes in your trousers.
Monroe, Tuvok needs help. Come with me.
Does he have guns and ammo? Because I don't. Oh, there's some. I know we're in a hurry, but you know I'm going to be useless without this. Off we go. So this is Lieutenant Foster. He's the commander of the hazard team unit. I'm training to replace him, which I've so far failed to do. Shoot you in the shins! Yes, I forgot the controls whilst playing the game. That's quite normal for doing the Let's Play. Having the high ground is good and all. That ship looks very homemade.
Tuvok to bridge. The intruders have been repelled.
Well done. It seems our situation is worse than we thought, Tuvok. Report to the conference room.
Acknowledged. Lieutenant Foster, have the team report to hazard operations.
We have our own briefing room.
I am certain that many of you are curious as to our situation. Voyager has been transported to a region of space we are not familiar with. It seems that many other disabled vessels are present here as well. We have detected an energy dampening field surrounding the area that is draining Voyager's systems of power. For the moment, we are trapped like the other ships, and cannot escape.
Like the Tarkanus gravity well. 247 ships have been lost there.
Or the Bermuda Triangle. You know, back on Earth.
Perhaps. Our primary weapons and propulsion systems are offline at the moment. The captain's current strategy is to find out as much as we can about our surroundings while we effect repairs.
So, what's the deal with our unwelcome visitors?
We do not have much information about them as of yet, Mr. Beesman. They appear to be scavengers of some sort, comprised of Klingons, humans, and Malons. With only short-range sensors operational, we have been unable to locate their vessel since it departed. However, we have detected a vessel nearby. While sensors indicate no life signs, we have detected a functioning power source on board. Our hope is that their computer systems are still operational and contain information about this area. The hazard team will transport onto this vessel and retrieve any files that are still intact.
No life signs?
Like a ghost ship.
Yeah.
While your superstitious beliefs are quite illogical, Mr. Chell, caution is recommended. Your team leader, Lieutenant Foster, will now brief you on your specific mission objectives. Lieutenant?
All right. This is an information gathering mission. Minimal encounter probability. The hazard team will split up into 2 squads. Alpha Squad, my group, will beam into Control Room A. Ensign Monroe and Beta Squad will be transported to Control Room B. Our objective is to have at least one of the teams locate a functioning terminal to extract any information we can and return to Voyager. In the unlikely case of hostile encounters, the technicians should be protected at all costs to ensure retrieval of this information. Any questions?
Sounds like a cakewalk.
See the quartermaster, Oviedo, in the equipment room. Gear up, then report to Transporter Room 1. Dismissed.
Okay, that's the first part of this interim level. The game, like I said at the start, is divided into Voyager levels and fighting levels, and it lets you take a break and eases up the pace a bit, makes the game more enjoyable in my opinion. This room is absolutely massive. Where were they hiding this for 7 years? Probably just the game developers taking a bit of artistic license. It reminds me of the briefing room that the pilots have in Battlestar Galactica, the remake, which I also recommend. It was led by Ronald D. Moore, who did a lot of Next Gen and DS9. Not sure if he did anything with this. Again, that graphic they had on the screen earlier, that was just a red blob and a blue blob when I first played it. No idea what's going on. But to sum up what just happened, we're going on a data retrieval mission to an alien ship that has nobody on board, so should be easy. Start changing rooms.
I wonder how long those scavengers have been here.
I don't know. I'm surprised they managed to survive this long. I wonder where their ship is.
So it's quite an old game, so interaction with other characters is relatively limited by today's standards, so I can just press A button and get a bit of dialogue.
Excuse me. I sure hope they're right about that ship being abandoned.
There you go.
Telsia.
Hey, Alex. Nervous about the mission? We'll do fine, I'm sure.
I think I'm right in saying that if you were to start the game with the female character, that's what you get. So there you go. So we just basically swap places in the story. It's very dynamic like that.
Austin.
I don't know, Alex. I have a bad feeling about this.
Nothing ever goes wrong when somebody starts a mission by saying that. Idiot. What's going on with that shadow? I mean, it's detailed and all, but... I mean, I've started gaming when shadows were new and you just had like a grey blob under your character and it didn't change no matter what happened. So, you know, it's incredibly detailed, but by today's standards again, it's a bit of a harsh judgment. It's a bit rubbish. Another very detailed and incredibly colourful map. People must get lost on this very small ship quite a lot. Certainly if you're going to start building entire new rooms without telling anyone. So this should be the entrance to that briefing room, but it doesn't work. And this, the armory, and Mr. Oviedo.
Oviedo.
Can you take a rain check?
Rain check? I'm not on a stagecoach. What the hell are you talking about? Do you even know what that saying means? I have a feeling Oviedo is an actual proper character in the series, because they seem to have gone to a great deal of trouble with his, well, at least his hair anyway. He's a very unique looking character. I don't really remember him. It's an odd name. Speaking of names, the opening credits you saw with the not as good as the original music, it was the developers' names, as you'd expect, but you'll recognise some of the names as we play the game because the developers named a lot of the new characters after themselves. It's an old gaming tradition, long may it continue. So, as the game progresses, every new weapon you find will appear here. Oh, hello. You're obviously coming for your weapons. Hello.
Oh, sweet.
You had one of those weapons earlier. Fine, whatever makes you happy. So So yeah, new weapons will appear here, and you can carry all of them at once because of that transporter buffer thing where your helmet's stored.
The new sniper mode on a phaser rifle. Those scavenger guns might come in handy. They used lithium crystal chips for a power source. Most ships use those crystals, so you should be able to find more to power the gun. The second trigger on it fires the energy grenades. Be careful with those.
Cheers.
If you want, you can test out your weapons in the holodeck here behind me.
I think I will. We have our own holodeck, people. See, this ship's relatively small when you compare it to like the Enterprise. It's got a lot of extra rooms for this game. Right, it's just going to load a program. I can't choose like a specific one. Like I can't go to that one that Worf and Alexander go to and kill all the children's entertainment people. Yeah, nothing so weird as that. We get what we're given.
Initiating program. High noon.
Given is High Noon, which is a bit of a western, and I've been playing Red Dead Redemption a lot lately. It's nothing like this whatsoever. But you know. Oh! I keep mixing up buttons. And yes, they just have regular, primitive projectile weapons with chemical explosives, otherwise known as guns. And the objective is to kill everyone. Bang! Stop it! Oh, I've run out of ammo. Thankfully, the game automatically changes your weapon if you run out. However, laser rifle is a favourite of mine. Have a grenade. Okay. Right. Yes, they had to devise some kind of ammo system. Because Star Trek lore doesn't really allow for one, so they had to invent one. So you get these dilithium crystals shards. Purple. Show off my little pocket phaser as well. Ah! Took a long time to die. Okay, full power.
Excellent.
Oh, that's all of them. So there's always been this long-standing tradition that Star Trek weapons have either a stun setting or a kill setting. I don't know. I'm pretty sure you can't choose the stun setting in this game. If the context of the level decides that you're not going to kill everybody you meet, then it says they're stunned, but the game mechanics don't change whatsoever. So there's a lot of murdering going on. And no, you can't sheath your weapon. Once you've got it, that's it. Right. So, I'm supposed to go to the transporter room, which is in there because of the blue light. But we also have our own lounge, which is nice. Go and talk to the other characters. Hello.
Kent.
Hey, Monroe, what's up?
Your lips.
Excuse me.
Good luck, Monroe.
Mitch.
Hey, Monroe. Good luck. Sure everything
Foster
will go
to
fine.
Monroe. Report to the transporter room, now.
Oh, he's getting impatient. I don't think anything will ever actually happen in the game if I take too long.
Liz.
Oh, you don't speak. You're wearing a red shirt and you're in Star Trek and you don't speak. I have a feeling we're not going to be seeing much more of you.
Michael.
while we have some extra time, I thought we'd review first aid combat protocols one more time.
Thank you, Doctor, but I think I am well prepared. I did go through extensive training and testing for this position.
Of course. Well, let me know if you develop any nervousness or pre-mission jitters.
Don't worry, Doctor. You'll be fine.
So she's a medic. Not that that really comes into the game at all. Doctor, I'm slightly injured. Do you remember earlier when you said you'd help if I was injured?
Doctor. Yes, Ensign.
Now he's changed his mind. Cheers, Doc.
Jeff. Hey.
Quite a mustache game going on in this team, isn't there? Right. Suppose we'd better do as we're told.
Energize.
So that's Lieutenant Foster leading the first team, and I will be leading the second team. Go Team 2! Shiny.
All set, Alex.
Okay, ready to transport Team 2.
Energize.
Okay, that is level 2 complete. We are now moving on to level 3, and I'm going to wrap it up there because we've just gone over the half-hour mark. My name is Wolverine. This has been Star Trek Voyager Elite Force. I hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to playing again. Toodle pips.